Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Barry, that Goat Metal Show. All right, I'm just over here taking a break from work, and I wanted to go and get into Ghoulish Dave's little contest that he has going over there, man. He was putting something out. I was hearing his last video on the way to work, and the video is going to consist of me picking 11 my best 11 guitarists and bass players, I guess in whichever order or whichever way you wanted to do it. And the only thing was it had to be between death metal, black metal, and grind. Um, so, you know, kind of throws it into a little thing where it's going to be pretty much one genre over everything. But, you know, it is what it is, you know. Um, also, just wanted to give him a shout out, man. You know, just keep that shit going, Dave, man. Your new album is fucking fantastic. So I just want to make sure you get that shit out there. Everybody, man, please make sure you go and like and subscribe to Ghoulish Dave's channel, man. Let's get his shit going up, man. All right? All right, so we're going to go like this. So I even it out to 5 guitars, 5 bass players, and then the 11th one will be pretty much something that I'll put in as, like, both. Okay? So we'll start off with guitarists, all right? My number one, James Murphy. All right, James Murphy, you know, if anybody knows James Murphy, he was on Cause of Death. He was on Spiritual Healing. He made the fucking fantastic band Disincarnate, fucking phenomenal band. And he also did Testament too. You know, he's a great fucking guitarist, man. His sound, his leads is like iconic. You know his sound. You know James Murphy's sound. All right. Number 2, you got Trey Azagoth. You know, Morbid Angel, man. That's legend right there, man. His sound is just classic. His leads are off the chain. You know, that was one thing I think what I got from, you know, doing my list is that a lot of these guys had their own way of playing and their sound where it was, you knew it was them. All right, you just knew it was them, and there's not, you know, nothing to that. They're just saying, you know, when you're gonna hear Morbid Angel, you're gonna hear him, and you know, first few albums, it's like forget about it. You know, a little bit down the line, you know, you can see that their sound kind of shifted a little bit, but still him. All right, number 3, Sean Kelly. Sean Kelly, who was one of the originals of Ripping Corpse, and I think he later on he went into Hate Eternal. Reason why I picked him is because Ripping Corpse is one of my that Dreaming of the Dead is one of my all-time favorite albums, and when you listen to that album, you hear the sound. It has its own pristine sound. Where, you know, that was one thing that I always enjoyed about certain death metal bands is that, you know, once they had their own sound, you could point them out. It's kind of messed up when you go and you hear a band that sounds, yeah, they sound like Ripping Corpse, or they sound like Death, they sound like Deicide. You know, there's nothing wrong with having those influences, but once you have your own particular sound, that's what makes everything even more magical and more worth listening to. So Sean Kelly, man, that guitar sound he had for Ripping Corpse, that is, if you haven't heard Ripping Corpse, Dreaming with the Dead, go on YouTube and just put it in there and listen. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. All right. Then we go into the realms of death thrash. I know he mentioned something about the thrash element, but I had to throw this guy in there. Dennis Munoz, guitarist from Solstice. All right. Again, same thing that I was saying before, like with Sean Kelly. You know, Solstice has a sound. Has a sound. They still do. Where it's basically, yeah, that's Solstice. You know, I wish, you know, these guys could go and maybe say their little secrets on what they do to give this sound that they have when they do the guitar tones, and what they do is just, you know, but it's great. It's appreciative because when you watch and listen, you just see that it's them. You know, it's nobody trying to you know, they're not copying off anybody else. So Dennis Munoz from Solstice, all right. And then last but not least, one of the greatest sounding death metal guitar sounds and guitarists ever, Trevor Perez from Obituary. You know, that eerie sound that comes out of that man's guitar from the first couple of albums is always going to stay embedded right here. And it's gonna give me it always gives me that great nostalgia feeling of when I first heard Slowly We Ride. You know, that feeling you got, like, you know, I was what 14 years old, and it was like it felt a little scared, you know. It was like that guitar sound was just it was way ahead of its time. Let's just put it like that. All right. Now we're gonna go to the bases. All right. First and foremost, I'm gonna go with Alex Webster from Cannibal Corpse. I mean, look, nobody's gonna deny that man. I would even give him the props to say he would be the Cliff Burton of death metal. He is a fucking phenomenal bass player. Plays, just has a sound. You could hear his playing in the music, and he is a phenomenal, phenomenal bass player. Right. Then we also gonna go with a guy who did play bass, and he was a great fucking bass player when he played. Martin Van Buren. Remember, people forget that he played bass on with Pestilence and with Aspects when he first started the band. And he was a great fucking bass player, man. Great bass player, And look, I didn't know. I guess they wanted to go and have him more concentrate on his vocals with the music and stuff or whatever. But it's a shame, man. He was a great fucking bass player, and I think that maybe he should try to get back into it. All right, then we're going with I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Simon Histans. I believe I think it's Simon or Simon Histans, which is the bass player that was with Dimmu Borgir during the first full years, all the way up until Sorte Diable. He's the guy who did the clean vocals. I love that dude's bass playing. His bass playing is off the chain. I know he's doing other stuff right now. He's not in Dimmu Borgir no more, but phenomenal bass player, phenomenal. And I dug the clean vocals. I thought that was a nice little mix during the early days of Dimmu Borgir. It was fucking great. I enjoyed it. And a bass player who doesn't get much recognition because I don't know, some people called him the Tom Araya of death metal. That's Glenn Benton. Look, man, Glenn Benton, say what you will, he is a good fucking bass player, man. I mean, the one album where you hear his bass playing to the T is in Legion. Great fucking sound. It was good. It was refreshing to hear, bass being nice and forward in a death metal album, and that's why Legion is so iconic, man. It's a great fucking album. He kicks ass on bass on that album. Fucking Glenn Benton, man. All right, and then last on my list is somebody who's like, I think he's not new, but he's still like, as far as like he's in that mid crest of between mid and new. We'll talk about Derek Boyer, who is the bass player for Suffocation. The fucking dude is off the chain, and he's a showman. Anybody who knows this dude, who's seen Suffocation shows, know when he goes and he stands the bass up and he's there crouching down. That dude is blows me away. Blows me away. He's a great performer, great bassist. Right now, top notch. And my last person who's to me is gonna take the last spot for guitar and bass is none other than Dave Suzuki. Right, Dave Suzuki, who was known in Vada Remains. Right, and the reason why I say Dave Suzuki for both those slots is because he did the bass playing and the guitars all the way from he started for Forever Underground, where he did the music, he did the lyrics. He was pretty much the main music man, and from Forever Underground all the way to Icons of Evil. His fucking guitar playing is, forget it. All right, it's magic. That guy has such a fucking talent. Plays drums, bass, does everything, and his bass playing too is off the chain. So I had to put both in there because of the fact that he recorded such great fucking albums playing those instruments. Fortunately, when you do see him live, you always see him really playing guitar. But when it comes to the recording process, that man is off the fucking hook. Right? He's one of my all-time favorite musicians. People know. Paul from Ka'ai knows. As me and him got a little running joke over there. We always talk about Dave Suzuki, and that guy, man, forget it. I'm dying one day to meet him, shake his hand, and let him know that I think he's a fantastic fucking musician and songwriter. All right, but that's pretty much it. What I got right now. I hope Ghoulish Dave. I hope this was good enough. I'm eyeing that 2XL shirt there, man. Yeah. All right, so that's pretty much all I have right now, guys. Make sure you guys go to Ghoulish Dave, like and subscribe to his channel, please. Yeah, and let him know that Barry from That Goat Metal Show sent you. He's a great fucking guy. Great fucking musician as well, man. You know, make sure you pick up that new album, that EP of his. That shit is off the channel for more in productions. All right? That's all I got right now, guys. Let me go back to my coffee and my break. This is Barry, That Goat Metal Show. Stay brutal.